Today's election day, and everybody is keeping their eyes on the crypto markets to see what happens depending on who wins. In my mind, it doesn't really matter all that much because any price action is going to be accompanied by a narrative. Here at Crypto Simulation Theory, I don't care so much about the narrative unless we've already had the price action. So to me, price action determines narrative, not the other way around. So yeah, I'm the Gaussian Snake, and I have a Telegram group that I'd love to have you be a part of. So feel free to join. Link is in the video description. It's completely free, and we provide a lot of value there to help you navigate the markets. Let's go ahead and get started with Bitcoin and see kind of what's going on with it. So if we look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, I have a risk band pulled up here. You can see Bitcoin is currently just under 69K. Not bad heading into election day, and its risk is 49 point or 42.96, which places it just a little bit above the 40 risk band. And like honestly, not a bad place for it to be at this time in the cycle, especially when you look at the chart in this kind of way. So I have some people who are like concerned that tomorrow the market's going to crash and everything's going to be horrible. I don't really know if that's going to be the case. I mean, that's kind of why I want to do this video tonight, so we can look at some technicals and kind of see where we're at. Like, if you compare what 2024 has looked like and then compared to like 2019 and 2020, it looks nothing alike. Like, look at how steep things were already going down. We had just come out of a bear market, whereas we've really formed a really nice base structure for a bullish move higher, I feel like. So I'm not too concerned about us coming down any lower than what I've mentioned earlier. And we'll take a look at the log or the linear regression channel next to see what those levels are. Okay, so I just refit Bitcoin to 130 weeks of data. So the linear regression channel for that is still a strong trend, as you can see. And I did this just to try to get an even better fit with more data. So some of the numbers are going to be a little bit different if you've been following me on my Telegram or Twitter. Let's kind of take a look at where Bitcoin is and where it has been. So Bitcoin entered into this channel in June of 2022. So this channel is even older than the channel that I was talking about before, which extended back to November, December. So this is a channel that has 2.5 years of history to it. So we should take this channel very seriously, probably even more seriously than the one I've been talking about. So we did come close to the bottom of the channel of again, it's 130 weeks of data, but we never really hit it. We came down to sort of test it in Q4 of 2022, and then we had this head and shoulders, came down to test again in 2023, and then we ran all the way to the top of the channel, and from there we put in this descending broadening wedge, and it looks like we've bottomed. I really think I'm still convinced that this wick to 49K was the bottom. I don't think we're coming down to the bottom of the channel. I could be wrong, and if we did drop down there, it would put us to price like, sorry, it depends when we went down there. So that's like, anyone's guess. But if we did come down there now, we certainly could see a price around 48K. And this is based on 130 weeks of data. So is that price possible? I mean, if I overlay the risk levels, it is possible. It is certainly possible. That would correspond to a risk level of around 20. Um, which is fairly low. Now, let's say that it rolled over from here and came down to here, that would put price at around 55K in January. I don't think that's likely to happen, though. To be honest with you, that's not my base case. My base case has been and will continue to be bullish. Although I can see an argument for some short-term bearishness for sure. We'll try to look at all different kinds of perspectives. If we put the alligator on, we can see the alligator is opening up. I mean, the alligator's been asleep for most of the summer and is opening up. So we have to look at that from a bullish perspective. Now, of course, it could cross over at any time. The top of the alligator right now is at 65K. The tongue of the alligator, or the mouth height of the alligator, this is I always forget what's what. Honestly, I think this is the mouth. The mouth of the alligator is 65.6K. The tongue is, or teeth, I guess, as they're called, 64.4K. And mouth, I can't remember, folks. The jaw is 62.3K. It's really hard to keep track of the alligator stuff, but I know what a bullish alligator looks like. So we do have bullish divergence on the alligator trend to pay attention to, and a really healthy looking structure. Not to mention also the cup and handle, right? You've got the cup, you've got this handle. Very, very, very bullish kind of formation. So we have that to look at. Um, Another thing we should look at is the bull market support band. So if you follow, sorry, that's not the bull market support band. If you follow Ben Cowan at Into the Cryptoverse, he uses something a little bit different. I like to use the Gunnar EMA. It's actually a really great support band to indicate when you're bullish, when you're bearish. We currently have a bull market support band, and it's been widening, which is a good sign. And the top of the bull market support band is at 65.5K, and the bottom is around 63.4K. So these are some key levels that I am watching. Not to say we can't come below this again, but we did just pretty much have a bearish cross very briefly in September, and it turned right into a bullish cross. And last time this happened, the rest is history. So there's certainly some evidence here that things are more likely certainly to get bullish than bearish. Let's pull up some moving averages. And as you know, I like to look at whole moving averages because they're more current than simple moving averages. So I've been like cluttering up my moving average ribbons lately, putting way too many of them. So we're going to just keep it simple. Yellow is the 20, blue is the 50, white is the 100, and red is the 200. The 200-week HMA has held like a rock star at support. And this is another reason why I think that the 60K, 58 to 60K is kind of what I've been calling as a potential bottoming area if this does roll over, which I think is potentially an outcome, could happen, right? I think testing the 200 week could make sense one last time, putting in a macro higher low. I mean, we pretty much held the 20 week honestly all the way since we broke out over it, which was in March of 2023. And so we've been holding this for a really long time. And it would, to me, if we break the 200 week and come down here, that to me is a change in structure that would point more towards a bear market starting than a bull market, like really starting to take off. And that is not my base case. I think it's reasonable if we come down and touch this. I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to come down to the 200 week, but we certainly could. And, I think we need to stop trying to compare things to 2019, honestly. Like, it just is not the same time. There's so many differences. I mean, look at here how the moving averages were much like less sorted out, right? And the 200 week was not really holding to begin with. We kind of have a different situation now, right? So these are starting to get stacked, right? Like the way you want to see them. You've got golden cross going on with the 20 and the 50. 50 looks like it's ready to curl up towards 100. Stability on the 200. This looks very bullish. Don't get fooled by, a few days or even a week or two of a little bit of sluggishness in the market. I think it's nothing to worry about, honestly. Like, I'm not bearish at all. Something else that's very reassuring is that the Gauss ribbon that turned red is now closing. With a closing Gauss ribbon that's red, that's generally a sign that something very bullish is about to happen. And I'll show you the evidence for that. Like, even here, you can see we never quite closed. We never even got to red here, but you see how we started to transition to green. Look at how red starts to close. Price action gets bullish. And this is, of course, on the back of a bear market. Look at even here. The red ribbon starts to close. Price gets bullish. And I can show you endless examples of this, right? Even here, look at red ribbon starts to close. Price gets bullish. And that was in 2021. Getting in here into 20, or that was actually 2020, I think. And getting in here into late 2019, red ribbon closed, price got bullish. Okay. What you don't want to see is a green ribbon closing. That's generally not a good thing. Red ribbon closed here, and we still had another dump. This was in 2015, but it really wasn't much of a dump. We were just kind of retesting these lows. And you can notice this was, pretty flat red ribbon closing, but coming off of a bear market, which we're not coming off of right now. So anyway, do I need to keep showing you? I don't think so. You've seen enough, right? Now I just need to get back to the present. you know, Sorry to waste your time in this video doing that, but I am definitely not known for making very efficient videos. Whoa, look at that. You can just laugh at my, trading view issues. Okay. As I kind of like scroll here mindlessly to where we are now. Okay. Probably should just pause the video, but whatever, I didn't. So you can see right now the red ribbon is closing and we have a slight angle upwards. It's kind of flat, right? It's a little bit flat, but You can see kind of how it's angled upwards. So this tells me like, yeah, we might come down and maybe test some of these levels. I don't think we're going very low. I don't think so at all. In fact, what we could end up doing is almost making like, I don't know. I don't even, honestly, I don't think we're going below 60K. Like maybe a wick to 58K worst case scenario, we're chopping down here. I think it's going to surprise everybody how bullish we're going to be. Now, one thing we haven't looked at in a while is a logarithmic regression channel on Bitcoin. So I want to go ahead and fit Bitcoin on the weekly to, let's do like around close to, I don't know, close to 800 weeks of data, and let's see where we're at right now in terms of the logarithmic regression band. All right, so I've fit Bitcoin to uh, a logarithmic regression channel going all the way back 775 weeks. So this is a very strong channel. I don't think I need to convince you of that. And you can kind of see the logarithmic regression playing out over time. Let's go ahead and zoom in. By the way, these are in orange lines, median line, and these are in standard deviations of zero point 0.5. I want you to notice that when I fit it to this much data, Bitcoin has clearly bounced off the median line of the logarithmic channel. In fact, it's heading up towards a +5 standard deviation line, which right now sits at 80.2K. If it were to come back down and test the median line, that would be about 58K. And remember, I've been calling for 58 to 60K as the highest, the lowest I could see this thing going if it does drop. But we could surprise everybody and just rock it off from here. Now, seeing, kind of like last time, we made it in April. I'm going to take this one more seriously. We made it almost to the +2. So this is the 1.5 and the +2. We made it to about 1.75. If we were to repeat that again, sometime next year, let's say beginning next year, that's going to put price just a little bit. Or even if, let's say, we just got to this line, we're looking at about 180 to 225,000 or something, maybe early next year. It is possible that we blow off towards that. Not really my base case. My base case is that we'll probably hit some resistance at maybe this +1 band right here, and crab around, maybe come down a little bit and then go up later. That could happen too. And I honestly don't know, right? Like I've told you guys, I'm not really able to forecast 2025 very well. All I can say is that I still am very bullish on quarter 4, and I think I've shown you plenty of reasons why, based on the structure of what you're seeing here. We could even turn volume on. Um, I think I need to put it on in here. I just have too many indicators on. Volume's contracting, right? And this is what you want to see. Like this is healthy. Ever since really 2022, like we've been in a volume contraction pattern, and we're just kind of waiting to break out of this. And I don't think we're going to break out with red. I think we're going to break out with green. I think that's what's going to happen, and you're going to see this trend change. So my bet is after the elections, look, there could be some volatility this week. We have FOMC on Thursday. I'm not going to rule out downside. I'm not, but in general, I think this is where we're going, folks. I think we're going up. And if I had to guess, like I'm not sure if we're going to stop here first at the +1. +1 will be a little higher, be like around 130K. Maybe we take a breather there first. So I'm not going to try to chart out the entire cycle, but I think this is our next move. Okay, so regardless of whether we have a week or two of downside, I think we're going to Bitcoin only rally. I think Bitcoin dominance will top, and it'll be time for altcoin season, and Ethereum season. So yeah, there's no reason to be bearish, and I think I've shown you plenty of reasons why. Of course, I'm open to criticism. I'm open to other interpretations of the data. So if you want, go ahead, leave me a comment down below what you think. Do you think Bitcoin is going to be bullish today on election day, or do you think it's going to take a nice dump? I've heard people making calls for like 30, 40K. That's nonsense. That's ridiculous. Okay. I don't see it going lower than 58 to 60K. And if it does, feel free to, give me a hard time about it. Yeah, so this has been a really nice episode of Crypto Simulation Theory. Please be safe. And if you're in the United States, I encourage you to vote. Don't care who you vote for, but just vote. This is not a political channel, so I will not share my views, but vote, right? And yeah, I mean, if you want, and you're into kind of daily updates, and I actually have professional version of Coin Trends bot available to you, and some, a professional market analyst. from the stock market who's developing his own trading system. Kind of like all kinds of really great people at Crypto Simulation Theory Telegram group. I'd encourage you to join that, and also encourage you to join this channel. Go ahead and hit the like button. Like, what are you waiting for? This is pure data-driven analysis. We're not here to make profits off of you. We're not here to take subscription money. Everything I do is free. I'm here to make money off the market, not off you guys. So with me, you're going to get, there's no strings attached, right? I just want to have a good time. It's hard enough trading crypto. It's a lot better to do it when you're part of a group. I feel like it's just easier to make gains when you're working with a group. And so my currency is basically your mind, right? Your brain. You get in there. Let's share some ideas. So I have about in my Telegram right now. I think we have around 280 members, getting close to 300. Is still a real tight knit group, very respectful of each other, even have a lot of different opinions and stuff. So love to have you there. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. So keep that in mind. So we'll come back and revisit this later and see what Bitcoin looks like post-election day as we prepare for FOMC. So look forward to maybe doing a video on that really soon. Until then, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.